Welcome to Will It Work? I'm Kevin. Today we got the TFT portable player. This is an unusual little clone system, I should say. And I'll explain why it's unusual, because we look at a lot of these things, and this one's I find just to be kind of interesting. So, it has a bunch of games on it. It's kind of like not an 8-bit, it's more of like a 16-bit kind of thing. Some of these games look like Wii games, like Wii Sports type titles and things that are on here, which of course is, I think, even 32-bit. But they're just, sort of look that way. I don't even think they are. They might actually all be some sort of original IP or taken from other, original systems, etc. Not an expensive system by any means. I think it's around $20 or something. You can probably pick one of these up. But what's interesting about it is, and we will look at these games, is that we can connect it up to the television. I believe it has a video out. I think it does. Look here. So it has stereo speakers, which is kind of nice. It's got a D-pad and some buttons. These kind of look like triggers, but they're not. I believe the battery is rechargeable, or is it yeah, it's a rechargeable battery, type phone battery. Probably catch on fire, blow up, whatever. But it also takes cartridges, right? So I was like looking at that, and I was like, well, that's unusual that it takes cartridges, because these things are not usually a cartridge-based system. Okay, and now I'm looking at it. I don't see a video out cable port, unless it's this here. Maybe that is pretty thin. But yeah, and so it comes with cartridges. Okay, and yeah, it does have a charging cable. I might have a video cable I can use with this, though. We'll take a look at it and see if that works. It might just be for these headphones, though, and then in which case we'll just use the display. So it has built-in games, a number of them. It says 230, but these counts, who knows how accurate that is. We'll take a look at that. But what I will say about these 3 games is that these 3 games are not included inside the system itself directly, right? But these are not ROM cartridges. These are jumper carts, which means I cracked one of these open and I looked at it. There's no microchip, there's no memory on it or anything. It's just a thin little piece of metal type of thing that includes a little switch that sort of tells the system this is the game to play, and the game is in itself in memory inside the unit. It has nothing to do with the cartridge. We've seen this kind of thing before. I mean, if you go even back to the original Odyssey, it used jumper carts to sort of change the parameters of the Pong type games you were playing. But that actually had a purpose. These are like almost like a bait and switch kind of thing, where it's sort of sitting there saying like, this system has built-in games, and also you can get cartridges for it, and here are some. But in reality, these aren't really cartridges. They're just a way of selecting some games that are hidden in the system. Unusual. One thing I will also say is that the size of this particular cartridge end there, when you take it out of the cartridge, fits perfectly into the Time Top Handy game. I did try one in the Handy game, and it did not work. It didn't change anything or do anything. I don't know. I had heard that the Handy game contained, there's cartridges available for it somewhere, and that it will allow you to play other games on it. But, the question is, are those jumper games like these, or are they ROM carts for that particular system? I like to think that Time Top probably used ROM carts, like they did with their other systems, but the fact that they were almost identical in size to these makes you go, I don't know. So let's see here. I have a cable, and we will quickly determine if this will function. As a video out, probably will not, but I'm willing to give it the college try here. Just see if we can get a, because it would be nice for you to see this that way. And no, it's just audio. So we'll do it the traditional way. We'll look at it here. Okay. So 230 and 1. Can't quite tell if these things are in focus, folks, because I don't have my glasses on. Didn't expect to be doing this part right here. We got tennis, table tennis, bowling, darts, basketball, boxing. Let's look at boxing. So you can kind of tell the graphics are not 8-bit. It's definitely kind of like a 16-bit kind of thing. Okay, I gotta push up maybe. Push in a direction. Okay, there we go. Knocked his ass out. Come on, son. Okay, let's go back. And then so they have all of these like sports games that are kind of like advanced like this in the terms of the way they look. It's a good city battle. It's kind of a shmup type of thing. From what I can see, this is all, you know, original IP. They didn't like take this from a Genesis or a Super NES or anything. Kind of plays a little bit slow, but might just be the way the game is. And then if you go to mini game, then you have a series of the typical generic games that we see in a lot of other systems that remind a bit more of like 8-bit type systems or phone type games. So you get the idea. Now, the interesting thing though is like the cartridge. So what happens when we insert a cartridge? So let's take this fighting game. Right, get it inserted. Then it says okay, press A to start. But we go right into the fighting game. There's no menu. Could be doing all these super moves. It's like I played Street Fighter 2 before, but our health bars are, mine's terrible. Anyway, you get the idea. So it's an interesting little cheap system that comes with cartridges, has a bunch of games on it that are not terrible sports type titles, etc. And, you know, again, a rather unique system in the sense that it plays what I could best describe as unique games on it that were designed for it or similar systems from the same company, though very generic Chinese type box description, etc., that it's hard to tell where it originated from and who worked on it and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, it works. It's a keeper. We'll add it to the collection. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.